the 2023-2024 Voorhees men's basketball preseason preview. I am Kaya Jarvis, a sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm here with, to my far right,
Nathan Harris, Gray, Georgia, point guard.
Maurice Johnson from Atlanta, Georgia, point guard.
Bryce Wilson from Atlanta, Georgia, combo guard.
Marcus Payne from Louisville, Kentucky, combo guard.
well, guys, welcome to the show. How are you guys doing today?
Solid.
You doing good? So we're going to start off this interview a little different than we have with some of the previous ones, and I'm going to start with Dathan. I'm going to come down to you. Dathan, you're a freshman. Tell me what your expectations are for this season. You're new here. You're learning the lay of the land. What are you expecting here at Voorhees?
Just doing my part, being a good teammate, making sure these guys get better each and every day, practice, games, making sure I'm pushing myself to become better each and every day, hold myself accountable to that standard, and just making sure we're doing what we do for us to be great.
And then Marcus, you're a transfer, and you say you're from Louisville. So what is it like for you, coming from Louisville all the way down here to Denmark? How has it been for you, just the adjustment?
Well, yeah, I am from Louisville, but my JUCO was in New York, so the adjustment's been crazy because down here it's real hot. It's just a bunch of trees, nothing's around for real. In New York it gets real cold, so it's really just the opposite of what it is here. So, but the adjustment's been good. My teammates, my coaches, everybody's been helping me through it, so it's good.
So we're speaking about your coach. You guys got a new coach this year, Coach James Williams. How are each of you adjusting to his game plan that he is now implementing? And for you all, just from, you said you came from a JUCO in New York, so how is his game plan different from what you are used to running?
Actually, a lot of it's very different. Like some of our defensive principles, which I'm not going to say, but they're different because my coach in New York taught me to play defense a totally different way than how we're playing down here. We have a different offensive system too, but he's really good on teaching us how to run it, and he don't get too frustrated with us because we're still learning, of course, but he does a great job of teaching us really how to play together since all of us are new.
All right.
Well, not all of us, but yeah.
I got you. So Maurice, same for you. You're new here, a transfer as well. How are you adjusting to Coach J's new system as well as being a point guard?
Well, for me, it's kind of different because I've known Coach J for 8 years, so it hasn't been really different for me because I know him and he knows me. Only thing that would be different is just change the scenery because I know him back at home in Atlanta, now we're in South Carolina, so it's just the scenery's different, but it's still the same him.
So this is a question for you all. What are you guys looking from your teammates and yourself this season? This season, what can we as Tiger fans expect from each one of you individually and collectively as a team? And you can start with Dathan. I don't know if you want to answer, but what can we expect from you individually and collectively as a team? What can Tiger fans expect from you guys?
Individually, they can expect high character, low maintenance skill, but also fun. They're gonna see that a lot on the sideline, cheering for my teammates. Hopefully, I can get some action as well. And play with my teammates. As a team, they can expect a lot of wins because we got some dogs on our team. We got some dogs on the team that's going to help us get a lot of wins this year. And they're going to lead Voorhees to a higher standard than what's usually been here.
Okay, Maurice, what can we expect from you individually and as a team?
Okay, individually, I would say an entertainer, a guy that doesn't quit, a guy that's going to always play hard and give his all each and every night. And as a team, I would say expect the show because we have a lot of fun guys, a lot of different guys at that bring a lot of things to the table. And from 1 through 5, actually, so it should be fun this year.
Marcus?
I'm just going to try to do whatever is asked of me. If it's play defense, I'm going to play defense. If it's score the ball, I'm going to score the ball. If it's support my team, I'm going to support my team. So And then as a team, I feel like we can make it real far because not only are we super talented, but we're super deep. We're a big team, so I think we can make it pretty far this year.
And Bryce, you last but not least, what can we expect from you individually and as a team?
Individually, it'll be a lot of leadership on the court and me trying to help run the team instead of the coach doing it and being a player of that team, which leads to more wins. So as a team, we will win a lot more. And yeah.
So you guys' first game is October 26th against Point, and it's away. What can we expect from you guys? Like, it's new culture, new coach. What can we expect from you guys? What's your game plan looking like? What is the game plan for October the 26th as you guys face Point?
Win.
I was about to say, to win, like, can't really say our game plan, but we just want to go out there, give it our all. Win, lose, or draw, we just want to be satisfied with our effort, and we'll see where that leads us.
And so for each three of you, you guys are upperclassmen, and we have a freshman here on the end. So what, for you guys as upperclassmen, what are you instilling into your freshmen, about work ethic, just not even with basketball, but with more so school as well? What is something that you would give, an advice you would give to a freshman here, like for you young freshman point guard Dathan Harris? What is some advice that you would give to him?
Keep your head up and just play your role, wait your turn, and make sure you keep them grades up.
Marcus, you have any advice for any freshmen out there, whether it's academic or just basketball or anything?
Remember the end goal, because there's a lot of bumps in the road and it's easy to get discouraged. I've been there, but it's usually gonna work out, so keep your head high.
And so now let's take it back a little bit. Let's just talk about childhood. How did one of you get started with basketball? How did basketball come about for you? Did you always know it was your sport? And we can start with you, Marcus. Did you always know basketball was your sport, or was it something that you figured out later on in life?
I've been playing since I was a baby, pretty much. My big brother was a pro. My dad's real big in the basketball scene, so I just try to be the best version of myself. I don't really look at what they did. I just try to do what I want to do, and that's play basketball. So I know since I was coming up, it was my sport.
And Bryce?
Yeah, I knew it was my sport. My dad kind of put a ball in my hand as soon as I could walk, and I just kept playing from then on. Fell in love with it.
And Dathan, was basketball always your first choice, or is it something that you blossomed into later on in life?
Basketball has always been like a main factor in my life because I come from a basketball home. My dad is a basketball coach. He was my coach when I was in high school. But when I was a kid, I didn't take it seriously. I always was just watching YouTube videos, doing kid stuff, just being a kid. But like when I got to middle school, I think that's when my love just started developing more and more for it. And that's when I started taking it more seriously.
And Maurice, were you a late bloomer with basketball, or was basketball always the first choice for you?
I would say I was a late bloomer because I didn't always play basketball. I soon found out that basketball kept me out of trouble, and it made me want to go to school, stay in school for it, and it just kind of saved my life.
I understand. So what are you guys' leadership qualities? How do each one of you individually lead the team? Are you the loud leader, the outspoken leader, or are you more so the leader that, I just pat my teammates on the back? And we can start with Dathan. What kind of leadership qualities do you hold that you feel like you bring to the team?
A little bit of everything. I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna be loud, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hold you accountable, I'm gonna tell you what you did wrong, and hopefully tell you what you can do right to better yourself. I'm gonna lead by example as well. I like being grimy, so I like doing the hard work and stuff that nobody else likes to do. So that's the type of leader I am.
And Maurice, what type of leader would you consider yourself to be?
I would consider myself to be like the hard-nosed kind of leader because I am kind of tough. I'm still working on being a little nicer, but I'm rough around the edges. But I wouldn't ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do.
Marcus, what kind of leader would you say that you are to your teammates, and what can your coach expect from you as a leader?
Really just lead by example. Just do exactly whatever the coach asks me to do. I know a lot of people, they just, it's tough for a lot of people to listen to other people, especially our age. Like, nobody wants to listen to somebody our age tell each other what to do, but it's just how you deliver it. So I just try to deliver it in a funny way, kind of way. Yeah.
And Bryce, for you, what kind of leader are you?
I feel like I'm an outspoken leader because I have to be, in a sense, because my counter captain is more of the lead by example guy, so I'm kind of the vocal leader out of the two of us, and I just try to do my best and give what I can.
So you spoke about the role captain. So this question is coming back to you. Is that an honor for you to be chosen as the captain? Like, you spoke about your co-captain, which is Tyler Willoughby, who's not here at the moment. For you, is that an honor for you? Like, is that something that you hold to a high pedestal, like being a captain? Like,
Yeah, I hold it to a high standard. It's kind of like, it's cool that out of everybody on the team, my teammates picked me to be one of the captains on the team.
and then this is the last question before we wrap for each and every one of you. What is something that you guys are looking to take away from your last season, whether it be high school for Dathan or your previous school in New York, or for you guys, your previous season? What are you guys looking to take away from last season that you will bring into this season to make you a better player? And we can start with Dathan on the far end.
Every time I step on the court, just fear nobody. Just always have high confidence level, but stay humble, remain humble. But just like, because I know I have the skill set to stay on the court and just play with others. It's just, I gotta have that same mindset when I step on the court.
And then Maurice, for you, what is something that you can take away from last season that you will bring into this season?
I would say try my best to stay locked in. Keep the main thing, and try to achieve our goals.
And Marcus, for you, what is something that you will take away from last season and bring it into this season?
Keeping high spirits, because not every day a shot can go in. So just keeping my head high and being happy that I'm here and enjoying the moment.
And Bryce, last but not least, what is something you can take from last season and bring it into this season?
Keeping my emotions in check and getting back to being consistent.
All right. Well, I want to thank you fellas for joining me today. I appreciate it. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Coach James Williams of the Voorhees Men's Tiger. And this is Tiger Season Preview 2023-2024, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Tigers Season Preview 2023-2024. I'm Kaya Jarvis, and I'm joined here by new head coach, Coach James Williams. Welcome to the show, Coach Williams. How you doing today?
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. So let's jump right into it. So you're new here. Well, you're not new here, but this is a new position for you as head coach of the men's basketball team. So how are you feeling about just this new experience coming into your first year as the head coach?
I hate it. I'm joking.
I'm finna say it.
It's been a step-by-step process. Everything kind of comes at you at once. You go from getting parts of the information to having the whole picture. So I tell people it's almost like flying 10,000 feet above everybody, and you got to make decisions at the ground level. So we just take things one day at a time around here. Everything is like a milestone. You want to get to the next checkpoint to be able to check that off to say we got it done. We're about, 20 days? No, 2 weeks actually, 16 days from my first game. So now you're just trying to count down to the first road trip. So it's like all in one. You got the first game of the season. It's the first road trip. It's the first overnight trip. You just don't want nothing to go wrong because everything is on your watch now. So that's just kind of how it's been. You just take it one day at a time, one task at a time. Because if I get too far ahead of myself, then you might miss something. And with these guys, if you miss something, they'll be on you.
So taking over from Coach Cabral Huff under his leadership, what would you say is something that you will take away from what you've learned from him? Just being under him for as long as you were, something that you would take away from him and use now that you are over the program?
Being organized. I don't know how many people realize just how, well, maybe some do in the coaching world, how organized he is, or even was here, just with everything detailed down to everything, and I think that's the biggest thing. Organization is one of my core values, so I've already had that coming in, but having worked for him, I realized that I could even step it up a level with just, making sure I'm on point. But being here at Voorhees, you kind of learn how to deal with changes and adjustments. So I think watching him handle those the last 3 years, I came into this with a good sense of what I would have to, the mindset that I would have to have going into this coaching position. So moving over one seat, the 12 inches that I moved over, like I said, having a bird's eye view of things helps, but the biggest thing is organization, just being organized, because you got to be 2 steps ahead of these guys, because things are happening rapidly from them with academics, from them with the social life that they want to have as well. You got to also throw in the extracurricular things that they do outside of basketball that's associated with academics. So you got to factor all that in, and then at the same time, they're men, so dealing with men things, the mental health thing is a big deal. So it's like you got to put all that stuff into a pot, and then you got to deal with 20 personalities. Well, 23 if you add my coaching staff. So I have to make sure that I have a lot of checks and balances for myself. And he's not far away because he's in my text, threads a lot. And I do talk to him and ask him questions about different things that pop up. So
Taking over from the 15 and 14 schedule last year, what are you looking to bring to the team this year? What is the game plan looking like for this school year, as far as this season rather, for you guys? What are you looking to implement into your new routine as the new head coach here?
Just a change of energy. I have a goal, and the team knows what my goal is, but that goes strictly for postseason, national implication. We want to win the first game.
Can we get a?
I'm not gonna do any predictions. You're not gonna get that out of me right now.
No predictions.
I don't want the internet, my foes. I don't want people to put locker room banner up. But what I will say is that we're gonna compete, and this group is fun. I think that's really the biggest thing is the energy that's brought in and day out. And hopefully, the guys, I don't know what they told you in their session, but I try to bring the energy every day. I try to bring a little lightheartedness. For me, this game is fun. It's a child's game, and I treat it as such from the standpoint of it's fun. I don't want it to be so bogged down with wins and losses and goals and accolades that we miss out on the part of having fun. Because the part that is not fun is the tactician, is the chess match that I have with the opponents that we have. So for me, that's where the challenge, that's where the competitiveness comes in at. But we're going to compete and we're going to have fun. And I think that's the thing that I brought most to this. That's probably a little different. The energy is a little different with me than it was under Huff from that situation. That's probably the biggest on the floor difference. So hopefully, as fans and as somebody who watches our games, you'll see us fly around a little bit more. I'll take more chances. We're definitely going to be a lot more aggressive on defense, and that's hopefully that breeds a lot of turnovers, and we want to create a lot of dysfunction. We want to create a lot of confusion and make it fun basketball, fun environment.
So we talked about the first game. You guys, this first game is on October 26th against Point. What can the Tiger fans expect to see from you guys? You talked a little bit about it, just about playing fast and, about trying to get stops. As far as that, what can the Tiger fans expect to see from you guys on October 26th?
Aggression. We're going to be a little louder. Communicate, because that's my first core value, communication. So you're going to hear a lot of direct communication. You're going to hear guys talking a lot, flying around. You're going to see a lot of arms and legs. As you can see, we got a lot of length. We're a very versatile team, 1 through 15. As far as the different combinations that I can put in is going to be interesting because I'm like a mad scientist with the different lineups that we have. And so just the versatility and the length that we have on the floor to be able to cause the team some problems. And I think one of the big things is shooting. When these guys get hot, we got some guys that can put the ball in the basket. And I think we're going to try to put an uptick in our points per game. But I think the biggest thing is a lot of deflections and a lot of turnovers. We just want to cause problems with people. I think for me, when I talk about being competitive, I think I talk to the guys about being competitive, but be rational in how you compete. And so being able to be smart, but also be aggressive and be yourselves. So I talk to them a lot about them being themselves, and a lot of what you'll see is me fitting what I have in my brain around their skill set and their talents.
Okay, so what is, off the basketball for just a second, what is something that you try to instill to them as young men? Like, what are some of your core values, your beliefs that you are trying to instill into your players, just as young men, aside from the basketball
Well,
aspect?
first things first, be early. You know, being early is more than being on time. It's giving a good impression to, you know, whatever it is you're doing. We're talking about African American men, so we talk about how you conduct yourselves, how everything is not a fight, how to maybe channel your anger. I try to give the guys different ways to think about things, because, you know, they come from so many different backgrounds with so many different POVs of just how they see life. So I try to get them to be able to think outside of their box and their world, because I want them to live the next day. You know, I want them to be able to fight. I want them to have a chance once they graduate. And then the biggest thing is the bigger picture. I think so much of our young people everything's in front of them. You know, and they don't think about maybe 5 or 10 years down the line. So I want to give them opportunity to see that, hey, I'll live to fight another day. You know, and that kind of mindset, and everything doesn't have to be a fight or somebody's against you. Sometimes it's like, we got to maneuver through this. We got to think. We got to strategize. And the biggest thing is I try to teach them how to respond instead of react. You know, how not to come out of your emotions, how not to act out of your emotions, because it can take you down a path that you may not want to go through. But if you respond appropriately, then you might be able to get the result that you're looking for in the end. So those are some things that I try to implement. But the biggest thing is on time. I'm big on time.
And let's just talk a little bit about your personnel. We talked about size and shooting. So let's talk a little bit about your freshmen, your transfers, and even some of your returning players that you have. What are you expecting out of each one of your guys from 1 to 20? What are you expecting out of each and every one of them?
That's a great question. My freshmen, I love them. I love my freshmen. They are light, and I say light from the standpoint of I could be having a bad moment and they'll say something silly, and it just puts me in a place where, like, man, it ain't even that serious, because they got that youthful exuberance. Like, they freshmen, they don't know what they don't know, right? And they just there. But Dathan, Xavier, and Devin they're super talented. I think I stole Dathan. I think he's probably, to be honest, a level below where he probably should be. You know, and I've had coaches call me or talk to just coaches. They're like, man, you stole him. He's super talented. He's going to be very, very good in our league and for the next couple of years. Devin Dow surprised me a little bit as far as with his ability to shoot. Super smart young man, and on the court, athletic is all get out, but he can shoot the basketball, which was something that during the recruiting process he didn't get to do a lot of in high school, from the standpoint of just consistently making shots. And then Xavier Finney's a big guard, so that plays into what we want to do. We want to get bigger at a couple of positions, in our next couple of recruiting classes. And then my transfers are interesting to say the least. So we went international, went to London, got Dylan McGlory, went to Canada and got Favre Biemi. Then I went right home in Atlanta to my old high school where I used to work at, and got Maurice Johnson. He's a bulldog on defense, lockup kind of guy. And then Marcus Payne fell into our lap. Had a relationship with his father. His father was looking for him another place to go, and he decided to come here. There wasn't really much to the recruiting process for him, but it's incredible when you get a 6'7" wing who could play the 2 or the 3 and guard 1 through 4 in that same manner. He can shoot the basketball as well. And then we got our returners, with Tyler, Hector, Bryce. We just got veterans. Our starting lineup probably has about over 150 games of experience playing. That's a lot of basketball in your starting lineup, not to mention the bench players that we have. When you got Isaiah Sellers, Keyshawn Evans, who's a redshirt freshman that's going to get an opportunity to unleash him on the world. He's a dog as well. Keyshawn Fleeting's getting an opportunity. He was playing behind K Ford and Amari Floyd last year. This year, he's going to get his opportunity to step into a bigger role. Amari Bryson was a freshman last year. He redshirted, so he's coming. So the guys actually did a lot of work in the summer, which was very good for us. So they put in a lot of time and effort on their own. And so we got guys that are coming back extremely strong. Mikael Murray, who's a 4-year player here. He's been here, all 4 years, and he's got that's another 250 games of experience of somebody who's just been playing college basketball. So we got a good mix. 3 freshmen with 17, well, actually 5 freshmen, because we got 2 walk-ons that have been contributing in practice and been going hard. And so it's been good, just to say, these 15 practices that we had so far. And I'm looking forward to the next 5 till we get to October 26th.
Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about your supporting cast. I call them the supporting cast
Okay.
because everybody's not always on the front line. Just talk a little bit about your assistant coaches and what they bring to the program and just how they're contributing to you and the overall team success that's going into
First
this
of
year.
all, I would like to thank Dr. Hopkins and our athletic director, Charlene Johnson, for allowing me to bring in Malachi Johnson, who was a former player last year, who's still currently a student. But he thought about going into coaching, and we had a conversation in the summer. And I said, hey, why don't you use your intern hours to go into coaching, be on my staff, come help me. So Malachi Johnson, who's a 6'8", 240-pound center that played for us last year, is an assistant for us this year, and just kind of teaching him the coaching ropes. I don't know how much he's learning from me, but I'm trying my very best to give him some tools and tricks of the trade, helping him find his coaching voice. I knew the transition for him would be a little tough because he go from player to being a coach in a season. Some of the guys that he played with last year now, some of the guys that he's coaching this year, so that's been a transition for him. But the biggest thing is just giving him the opportunity to see if this is what he want to do. If you know anything about Voorhees, we're all about vocation. Strengthening our guided career pathways is our QEP here, which is something that we pride ourselves in. It's what Elizabeth Evelyn Wright was all about with being a Booker T. Washington disciple of vocation, and making sure our students have jobs once they graduate. So he'll be graduating here in this December, but he'll be able to stay with us to see if this coaching thing is something he wants to do. And then Ed Green. Ed Green is also an employee here. He works with assessment, quality assessment, as far as making sure that we're doing the things that we need to do to be SACS SCOC certified and things like that. And he's a numbers guy, so he sees the game from a numbers standpoint, which helps me. But he's our defensive coordinator, and I kind of just turned the defense over to him. So we share ideas. We kick around ideas. He's a former player at Claflin University. Is it Claflin College or University?
It's Claflin University.
It's University. They are? Okay. So he's a former player there. So we played college basketball. So he understands what these guys are going through. He could put the ball in the bucket before he tore his ACL and his Achilles and intramurals here. But I like the guys that we got. Malachi's been my right-hand man. He's been traveling with me, recruiting. He's been getting yelled at by me a little bit here too. But I think he's been learning a lot. And so the goal is for him to see if this is something that he wants to do. And then with Coach Green, he pulled up from high school. He's been helping at Orangeburg, Wilkinson, OW in Orangeburg. Mm-hmm. So he's been helping there. And then now, I asked him to come on, and he's been, very expressive about this opportunity. So we're gonna try to give our guys the best advantage. One thing that I can say is they dissect film very well. Those are strong suits for both of those guys. And the goal for us now is to be able to break down point and see if we can get that dub.
So this is going to be the last question before we wrap. And it's just more so for you and about you, like, what are you, I know you have your team expectations, but what are your personal expectations for this season? What does Coach James Williams want to take away from this season? Like, what are your goals for this season, for yourself and for your team?
I'm going to be extremely honest. It has nothing to do with basketball. I want my 7 seniors to graduate. I want my 7 seniors to finish here at Voorhees. I want them to walk across that stage and get their degree. That's really my only goal for this season. From a basketball standpoint, I just want to put a product on the floor that Voorhees can sell. We have our website, WVU. What is it? What is the website? You know it? How do we stream our games? It's the athletic page on YouTube.
You can stream all of the men's basketball games as well as the women's at Voorhees Athletics on YouTube and Voorhees University on Facebook.
Yeah, so I want to drive eyeballs to our Facebook page. I want to drive eyeballs to our IG page. I really want to put Voorhees on the national map. To be honest, if you want to say what my basketball goals are, is to put Voorhees men's basketball on the national stage. I think once we get on the national stage and with our brand of basketball, because I have a couple guys who want to go pro, and so we want to put good tape, we want to put good film out there, and I think that's also indicative for the recruits, because I also got to build a class in 24 and 25. So we got some commitments and some guys that are coming on campus that I want to be able to impress. So from the standpoint of it has nothing to do with me, I want to be able to give our guys the opportunity to showcase their talents and for us to bring in these athletes in here to Voorhees to be able to compete on a national level. But the main thing is I want these guys to graduate. I want them to feel the accomplishment of finishing their matriculation. I got a couple transfers, and of course, Mikael Murray is somebody who's been here for 4 years. So I want to make sure that group gets across that stage, and that's the big goal for me.
Well, I appreciate you and your team for joining me today. It was awesome having you all, and I wish you the best of luck on the season, and especially on October 26th, you guys go out and get the win. And this has been the Tiger Season Preview 2023-2024. And you can stream all of the men's basketball games on YouTube at Voorhees Athletics and as well as Facebook at Voorhees University. I'm Kaya Jarvis, and we will see you soon.